Hello. I thought I'd do a quick video and just talk about attitude. Just for a few minutes, maybe. Not that I've got the best attitude in the world, because I haven't. But what I try to do, as much as possible, I try to promote a bit of a positive way of being, a positive attitude within myself, first and foremost, and then to the world, really. And I do that for lots of different reasons. Number one, because I am quite positive. You know, we're all fully aware of this, we live in a world that's not very pleasant. There's a lot of crap going on within governments and society, if we want to call it society or the system or whatever it is, you know. And it's just not a nice world really on the surface. However, there are lots of nice people in the world, I think. And I think, I've always thought this, but what you give out, you get back, you know. So I try to be open and honest, and I try to be positive. That's what I try to do in my life. And I do say try, because I don't always achieve it, obviously. I get pissed off the same as anybody else would get pissed off, you know. But that's one thing that I try to do. As I say, it's for lots of different reasons. Now, I've had a dad, obviously, who was a complete wanker. I've had a stepfather that was even worse, I think, really. And both of them are dead and gone and forgotten, thank God for that, you know. Awful people, just awful. But I think that we learn things in life, you know, and we should learn things in life and take whatever we take from people and all the rest of it. And what I've took from them is their negativity. Where did it get them? So I kind of flip that, you know, and not all the time, but I have to remind myself sometimes, you know, when I start going down a bit of a negative way of thinking, I kind of stop myself and I think, no, hang on a minute. Yeah, because that is how they would be in their lives, you know. My stepfather in particular, horrible, vindictive, nasty bastard. That's what he was to everybody that he ever met. Very negative. Didn't like anybody. Didn't think anything was any good. Didn't enjoy doing anything. Used to upset my mum all the time. You know, lots of stories really, and they're all very, very similar. But you know, Christmas she would buy him something, and he would just say, "This is crap. Why have you bought me this shit?" That's what he would say to her. One time she paid for not a cruise but a trip up the river, and he made a big issue of it, didn't enjoy it and all the rest of it. She went. Now my mum hated boats, absolutely hated boats, hated the water, but she still forced herself to go on it. I tried to enjoy it and he hated it. She paid for a flight for him in a little sort of two-man aeroplane. He hated it. He just hated everything. This is just how he lived his life, very, very negative and what have you. And yeah, I looked at him at one stage when he was much, much older, and I thought, this miserable old bastard, you know, he's got no friends in the world. He had three daughters, they couldn't stand him, obviously. Then there was me and my sister and my brothers. None of us could stand him. His neighbours didn't like him. My mum's friends didn't like him. It's awful, isn't it, to be like that, you know. And when he died, it was like a sense of relief to everybody. My mum could now do what she wanted to do in life without worrying about him, you know. Another quick story, I sent my mum a funny card. You can get cards, can't you, off the internet, like, is it Funky Pigeon or whatever companies are out there. And I got this card made up with a couple of photographs of my mum, looking awful. And I put a funny title on it and all the rest of it, and a little poem inside, and it was for her birthday. It was really nice. And I went to visit her a couple of days later, and she had all her cards out and what have you. And I said, "Wow, how many cards do you get?" And she said 39. I said, "Wow, that's incredible." And I was looking around, my card wasn't there. Anyway, I had another look, and my card definitely wasn't there. And he went off to go and have a piss or whatever. And I said to my mum, "Where's my card?" And she said, "Oh, it's in my handbag. He'd only bloody moan." You know, miserable, miserable bastard, you know. So it's worth thinking about your attitude to life, to people, to whatever's going on really, whatever given situation comes to you. How are you going to handle that? You know, try to handle it in a positive way. Try and put a positive spin on most things if you can. And you know, you attract people into your life by being polite, decent, friendly, kind, whatever, but by having a sort of semi-positive outlook, people are drawn to that. You know, the negative side of things, people are not drawn to, are they? I was telling somebody just a couple of days ago that because of my dysthymia, they asked me to explain it. Nobody normally says that, and it's very difficult to explain. But I said sometimes, in fact most of the time, I feel like I'm on the edge of this big round thing, and I'm literally leaning over into this darkness. I can see this darkness there. But because I know myself and I know my triggers and I know how to sort of manage how I feel and stuff like that, I just pull back. So that's what I do. I spend my life I'm just pulling back, pulling back, pulling back all times. You know, and I could wallow about that and all the rest of it, couldn't I, and say, "Oh, it's awful." And so's the osteoarthritis, and so's the ectopic beats in my heart, and the tendonitis I've got, and the insomnia, and all the rest of it. And I could mention it, I suppose, in every single video or to everybody that I meet, you know. But it's a matter of, you know, trying to be positive. And when you try, you know, you actually become positive. It's that simple. And I don't mind spending time with somebody who needs to speak to me for some reason as well. This morning there was a guy with a dog. He lives in Essex now, but he's Welsh. And he said he moved, went out of the RAF, he moved because of work, whatever that is, he didn't say. But then he went on to tell me a joke. And the joke was, now I know nothing about football, but the joke was, I'm just looking at bloody chemtrails. Christ almighty. Such a beautiful day and they're going to ruin it. The joke was, what is the difference between something to do with football and a tea bag? And I said, I don't know. And he said, a tea bag stays in the cup longer. So I just laughed because that's what he wanted me to do. And then he went on to tell me another joke, then another, then another, then another. He must tell me, oh, I'd estimate 10 or 11 jokes, something like that, in about a 15-minute period. But whatever, he was happy doing that, you know. And that's a form of being positive, isn't it? Rather than just say, oh, very good, mate, I'm going to go and spend time with my dog, you know. I felt a sense of slight loneliness coming from him, or the fact that he might have enjoyed my company for a few minutes, or just to converse with another fellow human being. I don't know what it was, you know, but it's you can be positive in lots of different ways, and just that, just being polite and listening to somebody if you feel that they need you is a positive thing, really. But yeah, I try and be positive over most things, because a lot of things, what I've found in life as well, the lessons that I've learned in life, is often things are not as bad as we think they're going to be. I've, over the years, I've thought, oh my God, you know, this is going to be bad, you know, this thing that's happening to me, to somebody else, to whatever. And it actually ends up panning out pretty good. Sometimes it's not how you think it is, you know. So by thinking positively about it, the outcome can only be positive. You can only take positives from every single situation, really, because there's always, in my view, there's always a positive. And you could say, well, okay, my friend has just died from down the road of cancer. How is that positive? Well, I don't know, because I don't know your friend. I don't know if they'd had enough of living with that, in that pain. Was that a positive for them? Is it now positive that the family perhaps can move on in their life, knowing that that person is now at peace, no more pain? Is that a positive? Maybe it is. You know, without being in that situation, I don't know, but I think that 99% of times there are positives to be gained from every single situation. So yeah, if we try and change our attitude and look for the positives. Bloody sky. I might as well show you. What do you reckon of this? Awful. That was blue when we used to walk in the dog. I said to that guy, what a beautiful day. I'm not sure what positives we can take of that, if anything. Take care then. Be well.